What's up, everybody? Welcome into the Week 15 Sunday morning show. I am your host, Ben Hauser. I'm joined by Sam this week. Sam's having some mic issues, so please
Yeah,
excuse him for that one. This is a fun week. I'm excited for this week. I've also been having some internet issues, so like if the stream ever cuts out on YouTube, let me know. 'Cause I've been having some internet
yeah,
issues.
dude. I tried
But
to pick up my mic and then my cord bent, and then I don't have a mini USB replacement. Just classic. Just like that. But I
yeah,
feel like my bad mic will still be better than Anthony's. So
yeah, for sure. I don't know. Are you golfing? What is going on? I can
yeah,
I
dude.
it's like snowing where I'm at, so I don't know if you're playing golf or
Oh,
what is going
yeah.
on.
I'm always traveling. I'm in Florida now. I was just playing nine with my mom. It's a good old time, and then came back for the stream. She was striping it. I was not, and here we are.
All right, thank you. Thank you for the commitment to the show.
Yeah, just so you know, Ben,
Straight
I only played nine because I had to get back to be with
yeah,
you.
only played nine so we could come back and do the stream. It's
Yeah, but
amazing.
that's what I do for you. Where's
Amazing.
Rich? Rich in here.
Yeah, I think he's in here. He's in here. All right. So big day, Sam. I haven't talked to you much. I think that this is a fun slate. I think there's a lot of really good running back plays this week. I built what I think is the optimal cash game lineup on DraftKings, and it's what you should probably play in cash games. But
Yeah,
as the weekend's gone on, I'm so invested in Kyler and Hopkins in the spot that I'm gonna forego what I think is the optimal cash game build, and I'm gonna play a little bit different this weekend and play them, which I
yeah,
don't think is what you should probably do. But
yeah.
I'm gonna go off the board. I'm gonna go off the board a little bit this week. I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I agree. I think the slate is good only because it's so bad, like quality wise. I think there's no. I have struggled all week. I'm with you. I'm all in on Kyler. I kind of decided I was planting my flag. Not that that's a hot take, because I mean, it could be popular, but there's like no quarterback that I love at all. Like I really don't. Like obviously, like besides the obvious of like I think Mahomes is obviously the best quarterback and he should be played every week. Like I just don't think there's a great quarterback that I like. But I think, like I say on here a lot, he makes for a really good leverage um, week where just off the top of my head as we kind of wait for some questions to come in, like I don't think anyone, and I kind of thought about this yesterday, like, I don't think anyone is going to own Deshaun Watson, despite him playing really well and running bad last week when those receivers are out. I think Dalvin Cook might be sub 10% owned and has absolutely the same volume and probably same ceiling, albeit a worse matchup than Derrick Henry. Um, and I think there's a lot of pieces like, Jonathan Taylor is going to be really popular, and I get it. We like Jonathan Taylor too, but like T.Y. Hilton is getting some buzz, but then like no one else on the Colts is getting any buzz or the Texans. So I just think there's a lot of pieces that you can get exposure to these high scoring or should be high scoring games, but I don't think people are going to play them. I think there's just going to be so much chalk on Henry, on Akers, on Fournette, which I have no interest in Fournette, and then obviously the Chiefs, Saints game. So I think it's an interesting week to get really different out of cash.
Yeah, I mean, to your point, I think that playing Taylor with Watson and one of his receivers
Mm-hmm.
is like an interesting way
Mm-hmm.
to get leverage off of
I agree.
like the ownership with Taylor. So I think that's a good move. But I agree. I think a lot of people I respect betting wise think that game is going to go over. So
Yeah.
you obviously want some
I
pieces
mean,
there, but
I think the last thing I'll say before we get to some of these questions is like it's just basically you have like I get that Derrick Henry is obviously a stud, but like is at a price point where he needs to get over 100 yards, which he probably will, and probably score twice to really smash value. But with such a high team total, one of the highest in the slate, 31 points, depending on your book, there is such a there's so much room for a Tannehill passing stack, or if it's negatively correlated technically, but if go Tannehill, Derrick Henry, Corey Davis, there's just so much room for a lot of those guys to crush. But I just don't think anyone's going to focus on the Titans players outside of Derrick, which I
yeah,
think is
I agree with that. Um, Yeah, it is. This is gonna be a big day. I agree with that. It's gonna be a big day. How
Um,
many New Orleans players is too many? I mean, I have two in my cash lineup. I think that I think that most people on both sides will be playing Kamara and Manny
yeah, I mean,
Sanders in cash.
are we
So
counting Saints players like? Are we counting New Orleans players, including like Drew Brees, or like out like not quarterback Saints players? Because I think that's like a different. I mean, like I would not play three Saints players without Brees in a lineup, for instance.
yeah, I agree with that. But I think
Um,
like
yeah.
Kamara and Sanders are both going to be really high owned. I think
Mm-hmm.
so. You could look at someone like Jared Cook, who I mean he'll be popular, but I don't think he'll be as high owned as Sanders. Or
No.
even Traquan Smith. I know I like Traquan Smith a lot on DraftKings at his price point. Doesn't
Mm-hmm.
have the safety of Sanders, but I don't think their ceiling is really all that different.
No, I mean Traquan, you are absolutely betting on a touchdown. But I was saying to someone yesterday. I mean, basically in GPPs, you're always trying to capture that the boom, ceiling. And Traquan has probably, in my eyes, this is not an actual mathematically, but like probably is the same likelihood of catching two balls for 75 yards and a touchdown than he does of catching zero balls at all. So like that is huge upside if you crush value gets touchdowns. I think he's a great tournament play, especially if you were to run it back, if you were to stack the Chiefs, which is really expensive, and then run it back with like Kamara and Traquan, that's possible. But to answer his question, I would say probably three is the max I would have.
Yeah. Bullseye, thanks for watching. Gus Edwards or Sony? I would, man, I might say Sony. I don't think Sony is a good player at all, but I mean, it kind of feels like he has to get the ball right with no Damian Harris. Damian Harris has clearly been the lead
Yeah,
back there. Still can get trolled by Cam, and they have other guys as well, but I think Sony actually isn't that bad today.
yeah. I mean, just remember the Patriots. All they want to do is run the ball, and the Dolphins are a total run funnel. They are great outside corners, garbage slot, and garbage run D. So yeah, I mean, Sonny's worth. I mean, you put him in final thoughts, so that was fascinating. I hadn't even really thought about him that much. I think actually he's a pretty good leverage play. No one's going to own him at
Yeah,
all.
no one likes to play him at all, anyways. So it definitely won't be any different this week. Akers or Taylor, FanDuel Cash. If you can no salary pick one of them, I prefer Taylor. But
Yep.
Akers is really cheap on FanDuel, so I think that does change things a little bit.
Yeah.
And then the next question from Drew is Fournette a must for cash? I do not think he's a must for cash at all. I do think I don't know. I thought that he was going to be really chalky. Now I think with like Manny Sanders being a thing, like he probably will be a little bit lower than he was going to be on like Wednesday or
Yep.
Thursday. But I don't
Yep.
think he's a must at all.
Yeah, I got trolled on Twitter by someone mocking my ownership projection, despite me having not updated it. But the irony of that guy is, I think actually, like, I think you asked me on like Wednesday, I think he was going to be like 25 or 30% owned, and then I thought he was going to be lower, and then I thought he was going to be higher again. I think yeah, with Breeze, Official, and Sanders, Traquan, I think Fournette will still be over owned at like a 15 to 20% clip, but I just don't think he's a must. He doesn't even, he's like not even, first of all, he's a healthy scratch. Like that was weird. And then second of all, the Falcons like don't have a bad run D. So like I don't really know. Like it's not like the matchup is like elite. I get the price point, but I think the Bucks are going to be more pass heavy. And like we saw Keyshawn Vaughn and McCoy get involved last week with Ronald Jones. So I don't think Fournette's a great player at all.
Yeah, I think the range of outcomes is really big because I think like we've seen Fournette get passing work this year. So
Mm-hmm.
like he could get all of the work, right? Like he could get the carries and a lot of the targets, or he could get like barely anything. Like I don't think we really
Yeah.
know. Like it's a
But I
weird
just think
situation.
in a week where you can easily in cash, I'm just going to say, when you can fit like three of the top 6 or 7 price running backs and a top quarterback and wide receiver, like I just don't really need to have those savings. I don't think because I'm getting it with wide receivers and tight
Yeah.
end.
Terry and
Manny Sanders.
Fournette. Oh wait, go ahead.
Oh no, I would say if our Manny Sanders, Cook, and Kamara gonna be chalked, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I know. And I will say, I don't think Jared Cook is ever really chalked because everyone always remembers. Like, I wrote him up in my article this week, but he's also bad. He's never that popular because he's not very good.
Yeah. Um Terry and Fournette versus Hopkins and Traquan. Yeah, I mean, like the first one probably projects more for like a cash lineup because the overall ownership on that is higher, but I prefer the second one, I think. I
Yeah,
just don't see how the Eagles can stop DeAndre Hopkins today. I just don't.
no,
I don't think
they
you
don't.
can.
I was reading an article and it's so true. They're like, I don't know. He's like, I don't know how bad you think the Eagles secondary's been, but I can assure you the backups are almost certainly worse.
Yeah,
Like
so
that was the
I mean we saw this pretty much like the same situation yesterday, right? The Denver Broncos had an extremely banged up secondary and
hmm
Josh Allen, a mobile quarterback, right? Like they couldn't stop him. And the Eagles were already allowing the most rushing yards to quarterbacks like with these guys on the field. So if you
hmm
take their two best safeties off, like Maddox hasn't played well this year, but he still is on the field, right? Like and
Yeah,
Slay
exactly.
obviously was good for a majority of the season. I just don't see how they have any hope of stopping a healthy Kyler Murray. I don't know. I just don't think it's
Yeah,
possible.
I agree. Watson, Cook, run back with Taylor. Yeah, all that's what I would do. I mean, to be honest, I would always double stack. I always double stack just because I just don't that offense isn't concentrated enough. But I got Kiki and everything GPP. What could go wrong? A lot.
Yeah, I think he's a good play, honestly. I think he has. I think I saw. I don't remember who had this. Maybe
Whoa.
I don't remember who
Sorry,
had
guys.
this stat, but I can't remember. I'm sorry for whoever posted this stat on Twitter, but I think Kiki has two 20-point fantasy games in his career, and they both came against the Colts, which I think is funny.
Wow. The Dolphins now have no Gesicki, Parker, or Grant.
Yeah, so that's a big bump to Lynn Bowden Jr.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be probably Chuck. I don't know. I still don't know if I. Now the thing is, I just don't know if like again that changes because those are like I don't know who else is going to get the ball,
Yeah,
but
so he's a great play now, but it like I don't know, like is he a better play than Michael Gallup?
probably not. I mean, I guess. I mean, we're probably all fish because we all see the same stat. I know you wrote up. I thought the same thing. It's like Gallup's target share of the last couple games has been crazy, and he's only 3,500 versus a banged up secondary. But I still would take him because I can rely on him, like on the Cowboys passing the ball. I just can't rely on Tua getting the ball to the boat.
Yeah, so I have enough in my cash lineup to move Gallup to Lynn Bowden, so I'll have to think
I
about
do
that.
too.
That is interesting. Interesting.
Is Kamara fadeable on FanDuel Cash? You play Sanders. I don't think Kamara's
No,
fadeable.
you have to play Kamara, I think, on both sides. Have to.
Hopkins super leverage off Hill. Totally agree. I think there's even a better leverage play off Hill, but I want to keep that for myself. I'm selfish.
Fade Ridley on his birthday in cash. Yeah, I don't think Ridley's gonna be high owned. I don't think you need to play Ridley
I
this
like
week.
Ridley in a stack, but I don't really like Ridley's necessary in cash. It's kind of overpriced. Hilton or Robinson, FanDuel Cash, Ben? I think Robinson is so underpriced on FanDuel. I think he's such an elite play this week.
Yeah, well, okay, so Fournette's really cheap on FanDuel. J.K. Dobbins is like 400 more than Fournette on FanDuel. I'd probably play him. That's
Mm-hmm.
really cheap.
His uncle is Uncle Lenny the worst chalk in history? No. The worst chalk in history is when we played Brian Hill.
Yeah, no kidding. I don't even think Fournette is really that bad, right? Like he's obviously better than Brian Hill.
Season long, Corey Davis, Landry, Gage, Sanders. Which Sanders? I'd say Corey Davis and Landry. Yeah, I'd say Corey Davis.
Best value tight end for tournaments. I like Irv Smith a good bit. With
Yeah,
no Rudolph again, I think that's an interesting play. Most people,
yeah.
if people are saving at tight end, I don't know. Like I think Cole Kmet was super chalky, but now you have Jared Cook, so that might kind of spread the ownership a little bit. I do like Kmet a lot, but I like Irv Smith in that same game. I actually think that game goes over too, and we know that Smith obviously has upside. He had a pretty good
I mean,
game last week.
you don't think Komet's going to be as? I still think he's going to be pretty popular. I agree less with Cook, but I feel like everyone's just kind of like all in on Komet as the pun.
Yeah.
But yeah. How sure are we that Breeze getting all the snaps? Oh, now. I mean, Taysom will do that troll shit where he just comes in for this dumb
Yeah,
gadget
it
plays,
won't be
but
any different than what it already was, though.
I just saw a report that he's literally been taking all the reps since they've known he's gonna play since Monday.
Yeah,
God, I hate
but I mean, Taysom Hill mixes in anyways, like even before Breeds got
that.
hurt, so it's not gonna be any different, I don't think. In a 60-person tournament, would you fade Henry and Kamara? Probably not. I would probably look to get different elsewhere.
If you wanted to fade one, I would fade Henry though. I think Kamara is like I don't. If he fails and trolls me, I don't even care. He's such a lock. It's insane. FanDuel sub 6K, Michelle Fournette, Dobbins. Like Ben, I agree with Ben. Probably Dobbins for me.
Yeah, Dobbins is a really good play today, I think.
Hurts or Kyler season long.
Kyler.
Of course. Will Sean sneaky good play? No.
Now, this is part of the reason why I don't want to play Fournette on DraftKings too.
Yeah.
There's just so many good running back plays from the top down to like Dobbins. Like you're sacrificing so much by putting someone like that in.
Hurts or Lamar and cash on FanDuel. Probably Lamar.
Yeah, I would pick Lamar, but I mean, I like Kyler. He's like 8K on FanDuel. Like you can easily fit him.
I actually think you can play Lamar and Dobbins just because like you're getting most of the rushing work done.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like they throw. It's not like he throws enough. Like he can't both do well. Double tight end, a bad idea in cash.
Yeah, so double tight end I think has won the Millie Maker the last 2 weeks, so I can't say that that's a bad play, but I don't think you need to do it with Sanders there.
You get the Kelsey like isn't a tight end, quote unquote, but I mean still.
Yeah,
you
have Manny Sanders is 4,200 on DraftKings, Limbo Jr.'s 3,600 on DraftKings, Michael Gallup's 3,500 on DraftKings. Like I don't think you have to play two tight ends.
To answer Jake's question, no, is a Brady over 20 kind of week. I swear to God. I hate Jake so much. Brady did go under 20 last week after he told me, which is brutal. Alt, yes, Swift, Tourneys, wrote him up. I think Swift is an awesome play. They're once again without Galladay. Stafford is somehow playing, which is pretty badass. But I think Swift should hopefully get more run with Patricia gone now a couple weeks. Catch a lot of passes. He kind of, to really smash value, because he's kind of higher, at least on DraftKings, I think needs to score. But I think his price point will keep him, like, I don't think he's going to be owned by anybody because Akers is like $200 more.
Yeah, this is Ben. Are you still going Henry, Kamara, Akers? I am not playing Akers in cash games. I do have Henry and Kamara though.
Just want to note that Frosty did talk about Herbert for $1 million, which is not possible because he's not in slate. Do you think Montgomery will go under owned? Probably. I just will not play Dave Montgomery.
Yeah, he's fine. I like Taylor more than him, and they're relatively the same price. And Kamara's only 400 more on DraftKings than Montgomery, so.
Exactly, and like Akers is $4 less. Like I mean, again, that'll make him really. So yes, he will go quote unquote under owned, but I don't think that makes him a good play. Kyler Murray, Trey, Gallup, Kelsey, or Hurts, McLaurin, IU commit. Probably the first one.
Yeah, first one for me.
I have a sick lineup.
Season long Michelle or Gallman. Probably Sony.
You think so? I don't know. I mean, the Browns' defense is run defense. But is Garrett's like not hurt for a while. Like I know he went out last week.
Yeah, but like I mean, look, it's not like Cam has been great, but Colt McCoy is like really bad.
Excuse me. You mean Colt McCoy who took down the Seahawks?
Yeah. What a legend.
Elite as hell.
Okay, Zeke is inactive, so Tony Pollard is a really good play, I think.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Zeke is not playing.
Oh my God, dude! Pollard is like a really good play.
How much is he on DraftKings? 5,200.
All I know is he's 4,700 on FanDuel. Oh my God! If I can remember reading, seeing that.
Yeah, you probably want to play some Pollard.
Oh my God!
I might play him in cash on there, dude. 4,700 is free.
I think Pollard is cash playable on FanDuel 100%. I know. Again, we don't know, but I'm just saying at 4,700, dude, that's ridiculous.
That's really cheap. Yeah, I actually probably will.
That changes, everything. Okay, perfect. Wow. Are you still high on Gallup? Yeah. Top tight end excluding Travis Kelce. I guess Mark Andrews, but like.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
still
hey,
like.
Mark Ingram, I think is inactive.
Oh my
Yeah,
god,
healthy scratch.
so annoying. Great, now it's Gus and Dobbins season.
Yeah, that's a big boost for Dobbins. Like not really a big boost, but it just shows that they're confident in him because
but
it's
I'm
not
just saying
like
I was
Ingram
never going
played.
to play Dobbins, and now I'm like probably going to play Dobbins.
Yeah, I mean he only played what, like, I don't even know. Did he even play at all last week? I don't know if he even got on the field against the Browns.
Mark Ingram last Sunday, last week had one snap.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't even think he really got on the field, but
I
it
think
does
he
show that they're confident.
uh, Arizona Kirk for cash. I actually think he is fine for cash. Honestly, he's not like I don't think I'm gonna go there, but I think that's fine. Henry, Fournette, or Taylor Akers, definitely Taylor.
Yeah, completely agree. This is a lot of
Oh,
news
there's a
for Sunday, dude. Normally we don't
Ben,
get
this is
this
a good one.
much.
Would you go in season long Gallup or Traquan? I will say if it's
Gallup.
PPR, I'd probably Gallup.
I mean, with Zeke out, like that's even more incentive for them to just actually pass the ball.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, that's actually a good point too. Yeah, it makes me like Gallup.
Yeah, so
Cooks
you,
or
I mean,
Marvin
so like, I don't know. I think people are gonna like. We need to address like Gallup versus Lynn Bowden. I think is interesting because Gallup obviously better matchup. Um, he has led the team in targets the last couple weeks. Like we said,
Mm-hmm.
Zeke out, probably more incentive to pass. So better matchup, better offense. But then Lynn Bowden, like, how does he not get the ball? Like, they don't have anyone else to give the ball to. Um,
Yeah,
he's mixed in for some like they might run the wildcat with him a little bit. But like Bill is super good against rookie quarterbacks. They
that's
could
that's
they
my
could score
thing.
like no points, right? Like
That's it.
the
See, that's what
Dolphins
I'm
could
worried
score
about.
zero points.
I think he could score not a lot, and like I don't know, the Dolphins. I mean, the Patriots defense this year obviously is not great, but in terms of like passing, their quarterbacks are still like really good. So like you now have like who is he throwing the ball to like right now? Is it gonna be Gilmore, J.C. Jackson, Jonathan Jones against the dynamic trio of Bowden, like Adam Shaheen and Durham Smythe? Like I'm just saying, I don't really see them struggling against that murderer's row of talent. Like, I don't know.
I think Bowden's touch projection has to be a little bit higher because he's gonna get some carries, I would assume, right?
No, it is. He should get carries, but I'm like legitimately wondering like who's active on the Dolphins. Like, I'm just not even kidding. I don't.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
it's gonna be Bowden and Salvin Ahmed getting carries, and then I mean Bowden's gonna have to get like
So it's Bowden, Mac Hollins, Malcolm Perry, and Antonio Callaway. Wow, that is.
I don't know. This is tough, dude.
This might be an all-in Patriot beat.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely like Pat's D. Like definitely like Pat's D.
then would you go Brandon Cooks and Marvin Jones season long? I would go Brandon.
Yeah, I would go Brandon Cooks, I think.
I would, but I don't think Marvin Jones is a bad play. I'd still go Cook. No one playing Kelsey. I think everyone's playing Kelsey.
Yeah.
Not in cash. I mean, I bet you cash will still be like 20% owned, but he won't be like 90. Ben, who's your top FanDuel receiver? I think mine still is Allen Robinson. He's
Top
price on there.
FanDuel receiver. I like Kiki under 6K. I think he's a good play.
Yeah, Alt clearly has been reading my article. I think DK Metcalf is an unbelievable leverage player. He is not going to be owned at all. And he's the only one with a good matchup on the Seahawks.
Yeah.
Just saying. $200 cheaper than Harold. He's going to be like 6%. Manny Sanders or Jeff Wilson season long. I kind of had some interest in Jeff Wilson. I almost wrote him up, but is Mostert playing?
I haven't seen. It's tough for me to trust that whole situation.
I actually think Mostert's out. I think Wilson is a good play. He seemed to get a lot of carries last week. I just don't think they want to give him 10 in a full workload. Tevin Coleman's like always hurt. So it's like I think Wilson's a good play if Mostert's out. But since those games are both at 4, you can wait. I would actually probably start Jeff Wilson if Mostert's out in season long over Manny. It's probably a bad take, but that's my take.
Dave's comments are so good.
Oh God. Cash QB on FanDuel, Lamar Hurts. I would do Lamar. It's just way
Yeah,
safer than
I
Hurts.
still like Kyler more than Lamar. I think though.
Sony Hopkins, Komet, or Drake Hill, Andrews.
I might actually
I
take the third one there.
think I would take the second one. I would take the second one. I think Kenyon Drake is like an underrated player today with Edmonds either not playing or playing or hurt. Like,
Sean's question is pick 2 season-long full PPR Zeke, Fournette, Michelle. That kind of got answered for you.
yeah, if it were me, I'd go Fournette and Michelle.
Yeah, I would have to take them as well.
Yeah, Dave. If I had a quarterback that I was touting all week as a cheap value, and I was betting on him having a bad first half and then having actually in garbage time and then him getting benched, I would not play him. And if I was that person, I would also make sure that they didn't tell anyone how to do anything in fantasy because they're clearly an idiot. That would be my take on the matter. You can relay that to whoever you need to. Okay, yep, that was it, Joey. Christian Kirk or CeeDee Lamb? That's a tough one for me.
I would not play CeeDee Lamb this week.
Oh. Care to share why, Benjamin?
I mean, San Fran has been really good in the slot, and like, I don't know, it's tough for me. Like, I don't really want to buy into a matchup like that, but like, it's been the whole season, right? Like that, the one thing that San Fran's defense has been good at is limiting slot receiver production, which is why we like Gallup.
Mm-hmm. That's why I don't love Lockett today, because the Washington has totally shut down the slot. I agree with that.
Yeah. Kirk, I think, is interesting just because I like that game so much. Like, so Kyler is not normally someone that has a good day like through the air. Like, he doesn't really hit the 300-yard bonus a ton, but his prop was like 260, which for him is really high. Normally it's like 230. So, like, even Vegas is projecting to have a big game. I think he can throw for 300 yards against this banged up secondary. So, I definitely think Kirk is a better play than Lamb, personally.
Tennessee defense, okay, and FanDuel Stafford. Normally I'd say yes, dude. Tennessee defense is just like really, really, really bad. Like I know Stafford can like throw the pick and everything. I just don't. I would never punt with that defense. They just are so terrible. They can't stop anyone. Then what are your thoughts on Marvin Jones on FanDuel? I'm trying to remember what his price is on FanDuel.
He's fine. I just like I really like Kiki's under 6K, Gallup's 5,200. Like there's just better plays. Like Sanders is what, like 5,400.
Yeah, I mean, if you're talking cash, I mean tournaments, it's always fun to play Marvin. I just would never play Marvin really in cash. It's just so inconsistent. Stafford or Hurts season long? Ooh, that's a good one.
You got to play Hurts, I think.
You think so? Yeah, I guess Hurts. I would be fine with Stafford. And I think he plays some injuries. Brandon Cooks or Marvin Jones?
Cooks.
Payout for Kelsey on FanDuel cash. I guess. Probably. I don't know. What's he? I mean, yeah, he's only 8,500 on FanDuel. Yeah, I mean, he's probably a better value on FanDuel than he is DraftKings.
Yep. Rich, I like Akers. I don't think you need him in cash. Like I prefer Taylor to him. And I'm playing on DraftKings anyways. Like I'm only playing 2 running backs today, weirdly enough.
Yeah. Season long PPR, Dobbins, Deontay, or Amari. I don't know. I'd probably go Deontay Johnson. The only reason I get worried is because the Steelers just play down to bad opponents. So I'm like concerned that they just don't do anything. But the Bengals are pretty bad. I mean, Dobbins probably is more likely to score a touchdown, but Dobbins doesn't catch any balls.
Yeah.
Even though
he should, yeah.
Gronk, yeah, I use Gronk as part of Buck stacks, but I'm not going to play him without a stack. He just kind of just I keep playing him, he keeps not doing anything, and I keep playing him.
Yeah.
Ahmed, Boyd, or Slayton.
Wow, that's really tough.
It's a really I'm sorry you have to make that decision. Probably, I don't know, dude. Colt McCoy is terrible, but he at least was throwing. I think wasn't it Slayton he was throwing to a lot in that Seattle game?
Yeah, I think Slayton's fine because I don't think
kind of comment really scored. I know the Patriots defense isn't great, but they don't have to defend anyone else.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine attacking the Browns through the air.
Plus, I mean, Boyd's back. Ryan Finley's back at under center. That's not great for anyone. Pollard and Gallup together in cash. Yeah, I mean, yeah. If that gets you to pay up, we had this discussion Ben and I did with someone in Discord last week. It's like if you're playing a super punt, maybe this isn't directly applicable, but if you're playing a super punt, it doesn't matter if that guy sucks. It allows you to get 7 studs that go off, which is what you want to have in cash. So Pollard and Gallup, yeah, that's a tough one for them to both kind of crush, but if it allows you to get up to the guys you want, the other 7 positions, then I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
Benny, would you play Hopkins and cash on FanDuel?
I currently have him in mind, yeah, because I have Kyler. So
does Pollard now pass Fournette? For me, he does, yeah. Because I mean, who else is he competing with?
Yeah, I think Pollard is. I don't know. I think they're kind of the same play. I think Pollard has more pass catching upside, and I think that, he's cheaper, so it definitely is a bump as well.
I think he's a really good. Pollard, Hunt, Wilson, Fournette. Pick one season long. Honestly, probably Pollard.
Yeah, Pollard.
Is Kelsey a must with DraftKings cash? No, I don't think so. It's just my.
Yeah.
Favorite stack for small field, high price GPP would probably be. I don't know, Ben. Besides the obvious, the Chiefs stack is always a good stack. It's just really expensive. I honestly think either a Texans, we want to be a little different. I think the Bucks passing stack is really interesting. It's not going to be owned, and the Falcons are complete funnel. So, and after Brady didn't do much last week, and neither did Godwin, or Evans, I don't think they're going to be found at all.
I don't know, dude. Yeah, I think you're right. I do think Pollard is a pretty good play. Someone at the bottom asked, "Does Pollard change my stance on 2 running backs cash?" It does. I have to look at my team. I don't know. I have to mess around with stuff. I guess I don't know. This is a weird week. We normally don't get this much news on. On Sunday morning, but I think that's actually advantageous to us though, just because, some people don't know what to do with the news. So I obviously would trust us.
I think your audio cut out for me for a second. Do you answer, is Dobbins more of a cash or tournament play? I still think he's a tournament play.
Yeah, I think because he's still, even though he Ingram out does nothing. He played 1 snap last week. It doesn't change the play. So Dobbins is still going to have Gus Edwards there and still going to have Lamar to take carries. So he's still going to get probably between 12 and 15 carries. So he's going to have a really efficient output, which he will. I mean, he's been one of the most efficient runners in the NFL. The Jags are horrible. So the efficiency should be there, but you're going to need it. Whereas Pollard's going to get all of the work for the Cowboys. They have no one else.
Yep. I agree. Give me one lock on who covers the spread today, any game.
I like Arizona to cover, personally.
I like Arizona to cover, and I think the Bucks cover too. The Falcons are just a lost cause at this point.
They totally are.
I don't even know what. Where does he even start to fix that team? Top 3 defenses on FanDuel cash.
Rams, you can easily fit on FanDuel if you want. Yeah. I like the
Bucks for me, probably.
Yeah, Seahawks are interesting. Bucks are interesting. I like Washington. you can punt the Jets if you want. They're 3K. Like if you really want to get some sort of like stars and scrubs build, you can do that if you want.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like the Seahawks, have been blitzing a little more. The defense still sucks, but like Dwayne Haskins, like really likes turning the ball over. But wide receiver for Tampa Bay rolling out. Oof. If I had to pick one, I always side with Godwin. I just think he has talent and he gets more targets. Or I mean, he's more likely to rack up PPR, but I would obviously always double stack Godwin and Evans.
Yeah.
Pick two, Pollard, Fournette, Michelle, Bowden. I would probably go Pollard and. Only reason I maybe would pick, I mean, Fournette probably is the right answer. Bowden, I think.
I like Bowden a little bit, dude.
Like Michelle doesn't catch passes really, and Patriots suck. So upsetting. Ooh, Ben, that's a good one. Ben, would you go Dobbins or Pollard? I would go to Pollard only because
I think Pollard, dude.
Just because he catches passes and he has a lot more. I mean, it's a way worse matchup, but would I go a weekend in Miami or Vegas? Only been to Vegas once, and I needed to not go back for a while, so I perfect Miami.
Yeah, to those asking, I'm still all over. I still think Ayuk's a really good play. I'm gonna play him.
Gage cash playable? No, I like Gage in tournaments as a run back as opposed to Ridley because the Bucs have been killed by wide receivers. But I wouldn't play him in cash. Again, I don't think you need to. Now with all these players, I just don't think it's necessary. Dobbins, Pollard, Michelle, cash favorite, Pollard. TJ Hawkinson, cash, no, unnecessary. Pollard, David Johnson, definitely Pollard. Dude, David Johnson, I don't care if Duke's out. I mean, he just doesn't get any. Then, who's your favorite FanDuel defense under 4?
Under 4? Oh man. Most of the ones I like the Patriots for 4,100. Under 4, I think you probably got to go. I mean, the Bucs are 4 even, so you can play them if you can do that. If it has to be someone other than that, I guess maybe. I don't mind Dallas, I guess, at 36, or you go all the way down to the Jets, like I said.
Yeah, the Jets is the right ones.
Please. So Dallas does the same O-line, yeah, but I mean Pollard's gonna catch a lot of passes. I don't.
Remember that Pollard is better.
Yeah, and I honestly, dude, I don't care if people roast. Pollard literally is better than Zeke at this point in time. I don't care what people say, and he's gonna catch passes.
Yeah. Season-long Woods or Lockett? Woods.
All right, we're gonna.
Lockett is still good.
Dude,
so,
what?
Okay.
Who breaks the slate? I don't know. That's a tough one. I want to say DeAndre Hopkins and Kyler Murray.
I do too. I want to say slate breaker would be. I'm gonna say because I do like him even though I'm playing Ayuk, but I think Terry McLaurin could break the slate. As the one guy as well with Haskins.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. All right, we're gonna cut this one 10 minutes early. I feel like we owe a duty to the people that pay us money for fantasy advice. So we need to figure out what we're gonna do with the slate. If you guys have any questions, Discord, ask me. I will answer it. Thank you guys for all the questions. We had a lot of questions today, more than usual, so we really appreciate that. We'll be back next week. Merry Christmas to all you guys. If we don't talk to you guys, but we'll be back obviously next Sunday for another one. But thank you guys for joining, and we'll see you guys later. Good luck.